Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run, the Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like, you dislike, go ahead, shoot me a call, 219-413-9405, and we will play your take back on our next episode. Now look, we got a good slate of topics today, man, starting off with boxing, because it's a big fight happening tomorrow, a huge heavyweight matchup that I'm excited to watch between Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou. Now, here's the thing about this fight, because it's a little unorthodox from what we're used to seeing of like two heavyweight champions going at it and stuff like that, but we'll get to that down the line. Now, Francis Ngannou, this guy is a UFC fighter wholeheartedly. Like, this is his whole career. He spent a majority of his career fighting in UFC. His record, 17-3, 12 KOs. He got a couple KOs by submission as well. Like, this is what he does here. And he only has one professional boxing matchup. And it happened against one of the best in the heavyweight class, Tyson Fury. And he held his own. It was nice, but he ended up losing his only boxing matchup. And this is his number 2 against a great fighter in Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, he's a boxer at heart. This is what he does. 27-3, 24 knockouts. The man has built his legacy on boxing. This is what he does. He's a damn good fighter. And originally, I came into this matchup thinking, all right, well, you know what? I got Anthony Joshua winning this because, of course, he's a natural boxer. This is what he does. You don't have to worry about him falling into an old habit of being a UFC fighter. None of that. Like, he's been boxing longer, so I'm going to side with Anthony Joshua. Originally, that's what I thought. However, the second thought kicked in. I'm like, okay, Francis Ngannou, yeah, this may look like a disadvantage, but I think this is going to be something that actually helps him. I think him being a UFC fighter, only having one matchup against the greatest fighter of our time right now in the heavyweight class, Tyson Fury, I think this gives him an edge over Anthony Joshua. Because when he went against Tyson Fury, he went toe-to-toe. He knocked Tyson Fury down. He held his own. He didn't look bad in the ring with a great in Tyson Fury. So to me, I'm like, okay, that's pretty impressive to switch from UFC, begin boxing, and be able to actually hold your own against a great fighter who's going to try and toy with you, who's going to pick his spots, who's going to make sure he gets extra points and all of that. He didn't get knocked out. He lost by split decision. And that's my concern with Anthony Joshua, is that he can possibly lose by split decision, but stand on Ngannou. I think this is where he'll win, because he's not a fighter who's gonna, sit back, be reserved, wait for you to come at him and find these little easy spots and try and do all that. No, Francis Ngannou is gonna go get you. He's gonna go straight for you. He's gonna come in swinging, try and knock you out. He's coming in like, look, it's either win or go home. It ain't no pussyfooting, if you will. It ain't no being scared to throw blows and go toe to toe. This man has been hit in the face before plenty of times, been beat down plenty of times fighting in the UFC. So he's not scared to take a punch, and he's damn sure not scared to get up in your grill and really throw some blows at you. And I think this is going to help him when he goes against Anthony Joshua. Now, the only thing here that concerns me about Ngannou going against Joshua is that although he can go get Anthony Joshua and bring the pain and throw these blows and keep Anthony Joshua on his back heels, you don't want to come in a little too wild, because if you come in too wild, Joshua is a great fighter and he'll be able to counter those hits. He'll be able to pick up easy points that's going to get him a win in split decision. You got to keep in mind here, this guy is a technical fighter, so his first instinct isn't going to be to come in and try and knock you out, put you on the mat. No, that's not his first instinct. His first instinct is going to be to observe, kind of get a feel for what you're doing a little bit. He's going to be very technical and very basic in a good way of how he's going to structure his fighting plan. And that's what I say, that's why I say Ngannou has to still be careful when he's fighting Anthony Joshua. He doesn't want to come in too crazy. You come in a little too crazy, Joshua gonna end up picking up a lot of points. He may not knock you out, but he's gonna pick up a lot of points that get him a win in a split decision. I don't think this fight is gonna end in a knockout, but if it does, I'm gonna side with Ngannou to win by knockout if it ends in a knockout. I trust him because he's gonna throw a lot of punches, and it's going to be on Joshua to dodge those punches and not get hit. So it'll be good, though. I think it'll be cool. Another cool thing about this fight here, too, is that the winner will be fighting Tyson Fury. It's already been reported that whoever wins this fight will be the fighter that goes on to fight Tyson Fury. Personally, I would love to see Anthony Joshua go on and fight Tyson Fury. Not that the Ngannou and Fury fight wasn't good. A repeat of that would be awesome, honestly, watching that again. But I would love to see Joshua take that next step in fighting one of the greats in his class at this time. And that great being Tyson Fury, someone who's already embarrassed the best of the best on a large stage. Wilder, he beat Ngannou, who's new, but also proved to be somewhat of a great fighter. He had a lot of hype around it. This guy is good. So I would love to see Anthony Joshua, someone who has just as much hype and kind of making a huge name for himself, go against Tyson Fury. I think that would be dope to see that rematch. But last thing about this fight, man, I thought it was cool. And one of the best parts that I've seen so far, prior to the fight happening tomorrow, that's when it's going to be tomorrow. I'll be streaming that. Shout out to everybody who use Stream East. Shout out to Stream East because they really be holding it down. First off, allegedly, I can't say I use it for sure, but they hold it down for a lot of people. I'll put it that way. That's how you can watch the game at the free 99 discount. I'll put it, or the fight. You can watch the fight at a free 99 discount with the streameast.is. Yeah, I'm gonna put y'all on game. But anyway, look, the coolest thing about this fight, bro, was the promotion by far. The promotion for this fight was awesome, bro. They released the video. It was probably like 1 to 2 minutes. And the fight, instead of like a bunch of rah stuff going on and pushing and shoving and trash talking your mama, your family is garbage, whatever, all that stuff. No, they did a anime based like vintage video game of boxing. And it was so cool because it looked like part of something out of an Avengers movie, but then it would go back to the video game vintage boxing type of animation. It was so cool, bro, and I loved it. It's honestly like the first of its kind, so that's why I think I enjoy it so much, because I mean, I've never seen nothing like that. So whoever idea that was to come up with that promotion was amazing, bro, and you got to check it out. I promise you that's gonna get you cool. That's gonna get you kind of hyped for the fight too, because they had each other throwing huge blows, and then people was getting knocked out the city. Like, it was dope. It reminded me of like Def Jam, also Fight Night a little bit, also a little bit of like maybe Rocket Sock'em. Like, it was just cool. It was a cool video, and it was the first of its kind. So I think that's definitely one of the best promotions for boxing that I've seen. All right, look, now let's move on because we got a couple of other things to touch on here, man. Now, Draymond Green, he's officially surpassed Larry Bird. Yeah, I said it. Draymond Green has officially surpassed Larry Bird. I'm not talking about legacy. I'm talking about straight facts here. Draymond Green has officially passed Larry Bird in 3-point makes, which is insane, right? This is just a side note. This is insane. He passed Larry Bird. And this is, I bring this up and I wanted to talk about this because this just goes to show how statistics are not everything and that basketball continues to evolve within time. I tell people all the time, you know, there's only GOATs of eras. There isn't one GOAT, the greatest of all time. It's fun. We have the debate. We talk about he's the greatest of all time. But at the end of the day, because the game is going to continue to change and changes every so often, there are only GOATs in eras. This is literal proof that there's only GOATs in eras, because if anybody came to me with some BS talking about Draymond is a better shooter than Larry Bird, I think I would lose my mind, bro. I think I would lose it because it's just not true. Although the statistics say that, you got to keep in mind this was a completely different ball game that Draymond is playing in compared to what Larry Bird was playing in. They didn't shoot as many threes when Larry Bird was playing the ball game compared to when Draymond Green is. And I look at this same thing when people compare LeBron to MJ. Yeah, LeBron dominated the hell out of his era, but so did Jordan. Kobe dominated the hell out of his era, but so did LeBron. Like, it's different eras of basketball. Comparing Jordan to LeBron, it's all fun and games, but at the end of the day, the game was played completely different back in the 80s and 90s compared to early 2000s and the mid 2010s and all of that. Like, the game was played completely different from what it is now. So down the line, you're gonna see a scrub who's in the NBA right now playing maybe 11, 12 seasons, make more three-pointers than Michael Jordan. You're gonna see somebody down the line, maybe even 5 years from now, 10 years from now, have more points than Michael Jordan. Because the game is played differently. The NBA can only protect records for so long. They can only protect records and all of these different things by changing the game so often. But as I always say, the game is going to continue to evolve and the game is going to continue to change. So that's just me saying, all of the Kobe's the GOAT, Jordan the GOAT, Bron the GOAT is only GOATs in eras. I've been telling y'all since day one. And I'm going to repeat it until the day I die. There is only GOATs in eras. Kobe will always be my GOAT. But Jordan, to me, if you want to really get specific and say greatest of all time, I'm going to side with Jordan because he was the first to ever do it on the level that he did it and the first to become a global superstar in the game of basketball. And now ever since Michael Jordan, they modeled that same way to market players. In the sense that they marketed Michael Jordan. So to me, Jordan will always be the GOAT because of the impact he had and what he did on the floor. Nobody ever seen that sort of magic that he was doing. But because the game evolves, LeBron is definitely the GOAT. So I'm at a crossroad here. You see where I'm at a dilemma. So yeah, it's only GOATs and eras. But look, I got another side note too before we get to the news. The Brooklyn Nets, Ben Simmons, he's going to be sidelined for the rest of the NBA season, and he's going to explore treatment options for a nerve in his lower back. Now, Ben Simmons, bro, this man has been tore up. He's been beat down. He's been hurt for some time. It's been a long time since we've seen Ben Simmons actually play at any type of elite level, since we've seen Ben Simmons play at all, damn it. Rather than getting on here and like being funny, trying to make fun of Ben Simmons, I genuinely think he should announce that he's going to take some time away from the NBA and take some time away from basketball to just get himself together, because I really believe Ben Simmons, unfortunately, will never, ever get the chance to even reach his full potential of becoming a elite basketball player or becoming a great basketball player because of the way his body is set up. Like, I don't think he'll ever get that chance. And this, to me, it's time for him to start looking for a second career, because bro has been hurt year after year after year after year. And despite his skill set that he has, which I don't think is the greatest, it's hard for anybody to develop their skill set when they're unable to practice at what they're supposed to be doing. So to me, Ben Simmons, I think he should start looking for a second career. I think he should start looking for something else that is better for his body to actually recover, because although people, they make it sound good, like, oh, you got to lay your life down for your job in the NBA or NFL. You need to give it all or nothing. Like, that stuff sounds cool. It sounds all macho and whatever, but it's stupid. It's stupid. This man is, I think he's not even 30 yet. He's got a whole life ahead of him. Start looking for a second career. And I mean that in the most genuine way. I'm not trying to be funny about it, because I could be funny and call him a broke down man and I'm not going to call them names. I'm not going to do it, especially because, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But anyway, look, man, to me, Ben Simmons is in that same category as Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball ain't been hurt that long yet, but he's getting there where bro ain't going to be playing basketball no time soon. We see these clips of Lonzo where he's standing up, sitting down, talking about, I'm healthy. But bro, you ain't healthy enough to go play full court press, or you ain't healthy enough to run up and down the court, cut, hop, step, and go up for a layup and then play full court press 94 feet. You ain't that healthy, bro. So until you that healthy, I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, I'm healthy, I'm coming back. And Ben Simmons, to me, in that same category, he ain't ever getting to that area where he about to be back playing any type of basketball, because that's a serious injury. But look, man, I don't know. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you agree with me. Go ahead. Shoot me a call. 219-413-9405. And we're going to play your take back on our next episode. Just shoot me a call. Leave me a quick take. Whether you hating on what I had to say, whether you got something to add to what I had to say. Maybe you don't think there's GOATs and eras. Maybe you like, nah, greatest of all time is greatest of all time. That's it. And it's only one. It ain't no eras. None of that funny stuff. Like, maybe that's how you feel. I would love to hear it. Other than that, man, look, we got some news coming up in just a second. A couple of different things that you'll want to hear. Mike Tyson is in the news, bruh. And he ain't in the news for doing nothing crazy. Mike Tyson is in the news. So I'm going to bring that up in just a sec, but we got a quick break, but it's halftime. Let's do it. All right, let's get into it, man. News for the run. Starting off in the boxing world, Mike Tyson will be stepping back into the ring in July. Live on Netflix, Mike Tyson will fight against Jake Paul on July 20th. And Tyson said, I started his boxing career journey of the undercard of my fight with Roy Jones Jr., and now I plan to finish him. That's a real life quote. I don't know why it's said that way, but what's crazy about this matchup here is actually the two are friends. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, they actually are friends, but I think it's more so that Jake Paul needed a fight. Mike Tyson is like, hey, what the hell? I'm a dog. I'll fight, whatever. Let's do it. And it's more so like him trying to help his friend out, help him get a start in boxing and just establish himself in boxing. But one of the key things I think for Jake Paul, if he's going to like ever become a legitimate boxer like he wants to, I think he's got to like get in there, take other fights with actual professional boxers rather than just celebrity boxers, because right now it's all fun and games and stuff, but nobody's really going to take him serious until he gets into a matchup with someone who's in a title fight or who has a good rep. And maybe he's been trying to do that. Maybe he already has been working toward that and nobody has been taking fights with him. But, you know, hey, that's one of my things where I feel like Jake Paul won't reach that level of legitimacy as a boxer until he stops fighting celebrities and actually get in a ring with somebody who's like somewhat well established in the boxing world. Other than that though, in the NBA, moving on, there's a huge unfortunate blow for the Timberwolves this past week. Karl Anthony Towns has been diagnosed with a torn meniscus in his left knee and is out indefinitely. Man, this is a huge hit for the Timberwolves. They've been having a great season so far, but with this loss of Karl Anthony Towns, it does look like things may slow down. They're sitting number one right now in the Western Conference, and hopefully they can maintain that standing. Now, Ben Simmons of the Brooklyn Nets, he will be out for the remainder of the season due to a nerve in his lower back. He plans to consult with a specialist to explore other treatment options. And we all know LeBron is going to be missed as his career comes to an end in the NBA. But there's been multiple conversations about the Lakers giving LeBron James a statue outside of cryptocurrency arena. Now, to me, LeBron James does not deserve a statue at all because Los Angeles is not where he established his greatness whatsoever. When I think of LeBron James and the greatness that he's done, immediately I'm thinking Cleveland. If not Cleveland, I immediately think Miami because that's where he won his first few championships. But no way in hell am I thinking Los Angeles, LeBron James, the greatest player in the world. No, LeBron James going to Los Angeles was really a treat for the Los Angeles Lakers. Because the Lakers, it wasn't like LeBron was like, man, I grew up a Laker fan my whole entire life. None of that. He just so happened to finish all the great things that he started in the beginning of his career with the Los Angeles Lakers. Because hear me out and hear me clearly. If LeBron chooses to go to any other team before he left Cleveland in his second stunt, in his second run, LeBron would have solidified his greatness anywhere else. He would have still broke the all-time scoring record. He would have still hit 40,000 points if he would have went anywhere else. Instead of Los Angeles, if LeBron said, you know what, I want to go to Charlotte and play for the Hornets, he still would have established the rest of his greatness and capitalizing on everything he done early on in his career with that team. It did not matter the destination that LeBron went to. We all knew he was still possibly going to go to the finals or have good playoff success because he's LeBron. And in these next few years, he's possibly going to leave LA because he wants to go play with his kid. Him going to LA wasn't necessarily a thing like, I've always wanted to play for the purple and gold. And then even now that he's with the purple and gold, he's only won one championship. And it's in the bubble, which is still debatable on being kind of a little shaky. The bubble wasn't anything like a Some people say it was the hardest championship to win. A lot of NBA guys say that. They're on record saying, oh, it was the hardest championship because there was nothing else to do. You only had to be locked in on basketball. So I get that. I'll give credit to that. But either way it goes, people are still looking at the bubble as something that's shaky because you didn't have the NBA finals and fans attending the game. And we all know fans make a huge difference at the game cheering. Home court advantage is home court advantage for a reason. You have referees that's at that home court. You have referees that's on the road. You got referees getting slide dealed by some, by some pins that's out there, throwing money at them and all of that stuff. So it's a lot of different things. But in terms of giving LeBron James a statue in LA, to me, it would be more so out of respect rather than him actually earning that in front of cryptocurrency arena, because he's played 6 seasons with the Lakers, one NBA championship. He's probably going to leave or retire soon. But Bron chose to play with any other team. We know he would have still established that greatness. But despite a franchise who's already established everything in terms of setting the bar high up, the Los Angeles Lakers don't get to put up statues out of respect. All but 2 people who have a statue outside of Los Angeles have won 3 or more championships. Besides Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, who were diehard Lakers who spent a majority of their career in LA, everyone else has won 3 or more championships. LeBron only has 1 championship, and he's not a diehard LA guy. He just wanted to be there because he has some movies in motion. He trying to connect on some business deals. He trying to connect the missing pieces for when he's about to retire, because I'm pretty sure at this point he was going to retire and chill out in LA. And that was a huge reason a part of the reason why he went to LA. So to me, nah, man, LeBron don't deserve no statue out there. Does he deserve it in Miami? Of course. Does he deserve it in Cleveland? Absolutely. But LA? Nah, the Lakers are better than that. If they're going to continue to hold themselves to that standard of, oh, we're the Lakers. Like, I don't know. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Lakers is just bougie as hell. So if they're going to continue to be bougie as hell, they got to, you got to uphold that standard. And it's not a bad thing if they put up a LeBron statue because it is LeBron, but it's also like, bro, LeBron is not a Laker legend compared to everyone else who's there in Los Angeles right now who has a statue. Jerry West, Laker legend. Elgin Baylor, Laker legend. Shaq, Laker legend. Kobe, Laker legend. Magic Johnson, Laker legend. Kareem, Laker legend. These guys are Laker legends. LeBron isn't a Laker legend. He went there because he wanted to retire in LA and stay in LA. That's not where he capitalized on his legacy. So I can't give him that statue in LA personally. I wouldn't be able to do it, but I mean, ultimately it's gonna be up to them. But if I had a vote in it, no, he's not getting that statue in LA. Now, last thing here I wanted to talk about was the Timberwolves. Man, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they took a huge hit in Karl Anthony Towns. Obviously, as I mentioned, Karl Anthony Towns is going to be out for the remainder of the season with a torn meniscus, and it said he'll most likely undergo surgery and all of those things. But the Timberwolves, they've been hot so far this season. 43-19, number 1 seed. Karl Anthony Towns been averaging 22 points, 8 rebounds. But this is a huge hit for the Timberwolves because I didn't think they could go on a deep playoff run with Karl Anthony Towns. And now that Karl Anthony Towns is gone, they definitely cannot go on a deep playoff run. And the main reason I said they wouldn't be able to go on a playoff run even when he was healthy was just because the team is still inexperienced. And when you match up experience in the playoffs, it does have a huge say. You go against guys who've been there before. As bad as the Lakers are, you go against a Lakers team, they possibly can make it a series in 7 games. You go against a Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, especially if they're healthy, it's a toss-up. So to me, Timberwolves didn't have that much of a shot. I thought they could maybe get out the first round, get out the second round, which I guess would be considered a run. But other than that, now that they don't have Karl Anthony Towns, I'm putting it all on Anthony Edwards to really show us what it is, man. I'm putting it on Anthony Edwards to put on the show and entertain us while he's in the playoffs because, I mean, it's all him. This is a potential face of the league that people talk about. This is someone who's one of the best young guys in the league right now. People are saying, is he the MVP this season? Is he going to be a silly thing? Is he like the next Michael? As always, they always say that. But, Anthony Edwards is a young guy, but he can really put this team on his back and show us that, all right, hey, Ant Edwards, as soon as he gets some help again, is going to be lethal. And I would love to see that type of thing on display, because we've seen Luka Doncic dominate teams by himself in the playoffs. We've seen Devin Booker have good playoff runs. He went on a playoff run. And next, Jason Tatum, he's done his thing. He went to the finals. Anthony Edwards is right up that alleyway behind all of those guys. And I would love to see Anthony Edwards show us what it is when he's in the playoffs. And this is unfortunately the best time for him to do so, with him just being the only one there. If there's any time for him to show us that he can carry a team on his own, that time is right now, because he doesn't have his co-star in Karl Anthony Towns. So it will be tough, but I would hate to see them get the boot first round. I would hate to see it, but I think it's gonna happen, unfortunately, man. I don't know. He's good, but damn. That's a tough blow. You lose your inside out guy. You lose a guy who can stretch the floor, who can play in the paint, who can pretty much run the whole offense by himself. So it's a tough blow. But other than that, man, look, that's all I got for you guys today. I definitely appreciate you hanging with me. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at The Run Podcast for the updates. You'll see the clips and all kind of stuff. Sometimes you'll see some highlights on there as well. You can follow my personal as well at I am Manny Wilson on all of the socials. Post trips, all kind of stuff on there as well. Other than that, though, man, that's all I got for you guys. Be sure to share this with a cousin, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a niece, a nephew, a coworker, a friend, anyone you know who may enjoy this, or just send it to somebody random. Promise you they're not gonna be mad. If you talked about their favorite player and you thought about them at all, just send it to them. They're gonna appreciate it, and they're gonna be happy you sent it, even if they don't listen. It don't even matter. They're just gonna be happy that you thought about them. So with that being said, bro, I am gonna say this. I'll leave you guys with this. I kind of want to start leaving off of some sort of good thing to hear, because I think some of y'all probably, by the time y'all hear this, it'll be Friday. It's Thursday night right now, but it'll be Friday morning. Whenever you listen, I don't know when the hell you be listening, but anyway, I'm gonna leave you with this, bro. Just be nice. Just be kind. This is off the top of the dome, so I didn't write this down. This is genuine. Just be nice, be kind, bro, and just make somebody's day. Just keep that positive energy around you. Try to make sure your energy is positive. If your day is going bad, or if some things happen in your day that kind of threw you off and kind of made you upset, just be sure to look for the positive in everything that's around you, bro. A lot of times it's not necessarily like, oh, it's negative energy around me or it's positive energy. It's just choosing what you want to see and choosing what you want to look at and what you have your eyes open to. So, just keep your eyes open and really embrace where you're at, embrace the things that's around you, be present. So even though something may have went wrong, just look for the good in something. And it's tough to do sometimes because, shit be getting bad, but you got to just look for the good. Even if that's just the small wins, the tiny wins in the day, go ahead, look for those good wins within the day. Look for something that's positive around you and flip that negative into a positive. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. I hope you keep that in mind. I hope you keep that on your brain as you go on with your day or go on with your night, whenever you may be listening. But again, man, last thing, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Other than that, we will be back later on next week. I hope you have a great weekend. And boy, you better make this weekend positive as hell. Quit playing. Go enjoy your weekend. Be positive. Have a good time. Look for these wins during your weekend. Embrace everything that's good. Even if the sky is just a little bit blue, you better look at that damn sky and say, damn, that's a bright ass blue sky today. Or even if you see a green leaf that's green as hell, man, that's a beautiful green leaf. God is amazing. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Enjoy your weekend. That's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all. All right, y'all be easy. I'm gone.